Hey everyone, welcome back to our Vectra podcast. We're here with another rapid fire series on Azure Active Directory Auto Lockdown. I'm Zoe, and I'm joined by Jordan, who is on the product managing team. There you go. Hi, Jordan.
Hey all, excited to be here.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so just to recap on what our rapid fire series is 3 questions, 3 minutes, short and simple. Let's start the clock. Okay, Jordan, what is AAD Auto Lockdown for security teams?
Yeah, great question to kick off with. So, Azure AD Automatic Lockdown, which is now known as Microsoft Entra ID, what this feature is it empowers users with a proactive defense mechanism against potential Azure AD and M365 threats. So, when users enable this feature, they can configure different components of how an account is locked down, ensuring that when an account surpasses a couple thresholds, it automatically enters a lockdown state until it's manually re-enabled. So, at a high level, this allows for thorough investigation, ensuring that potential threats are investigated and actually responded to effectively.
Awesome, awesome. So what does it exactly do for security teams here?
Yeah, so the configuration for Azure AD Automatic Lockdown, just to kind of set the stage, it's users can find it under Settings and under the External Connectors tab. And once they land there, users will be provided a connection setup link. And what that link does is it takes them outside of our product and essentially authorizes and consents, and they consent to installing Vectra within the Azure tenant. So now that we've kind of got the more configuration slash boring stuff all set up in whatnot, users will be able to, once they land on that page, they'll be able to enable the automatic lockdown setting and set the urgency score threshold so that when that account surpasses that urgency score threshold, it's automatically locked down and it's going to remain in that state until it's manually unlocked. So in addition to setting that urgency score threshold, users will also be able to choose how they desire to automatically lock down accounts. And what I mean by kind of choose between those two options. Option number one is having users either revoke the session, which immediately interrupts all active sessions, and or disabling the account for further use. So in the screenshot you can see on the screen, the top one which is selected is revoking the session, which is interrupting all those active sessions and disables the account for future use. And that will apply to all accounts that surpass that threshold. And just the second option below that again is just the revoking session. So that'll interrupt all those active sessions for any account that's locked down. So users can kind of have an option of how they desire to automatically lock down an Azure AD account.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it seems like there's a lot of like customizable configurations that customers can go in and change themselves. So it depends on their like security program, security maturity, or like whatever is needed for their own SOC team, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I guess one last point on kind of what Azure AD Automatic Lockdown does is
Mm.
when an account surpasses that threshold, users will be notified via email, which includes what account was locked along with the current score at the time of the automatic lockdown. So at any point in time, whether it's in the middle of the night, in the middle of the day, users can
Mm.
receive that email and receive that lockdown notification, as well as consume it via our events API as well. So there's kind of a dual notification delivery there.
Yeah, that's really, really useful. So what does this mean, this lockdown, auto lockdown feature mean for our security teams? I think you kind of touched on this, but diving deeper into it now.
Yeah, so diving into the details, what this feature ultimately means is that Vectra automatically stops potential Azure AD and M365 attacks, specifically within the first few minutes before the damage is done. So that piece is really key. Beyond that, security teams can rest assured that when an account surpasses that threshold, that account will be prevented from progressing further along the kill chain. It'll stop a malicious user from logging into any additional systems, potentially limiting the blast radius of an ongoing attack. And by automatically locking something down and it's going to remain locked until it's unlocked or manually unlocked, this really allows security teams to thoroughly investigate the account, allowing ample time to respond effectively.
Yeah, that's the key point here. Like is of the essence when it comes to threat response and investigation. So being able to just completely lock down the potential threat gives analysts more time to respond. So I think this is a very, very pivotal feature on our Vectra AI platform. So thank you for walking us through that. So stop the clock. Awesome. We actually were able to do it within, I think, underneath 3 minutes. So great job, Jordan. So if you haven't checked us out already, we're on YouTube. We have a playlist for our podcast. We're also on Spotify now too with our threat briefing. So please check us out there. And thank you again, Jordan, for joining me on our Vectra Rapid Fire series. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Absolutely.
Bye.